Welcome everybody. This beautiful spring day heading into summer. A quick update on the PD. Very pleased to report that we're going to be receiving our award for full accreditation June 21st. Again, thank you to both Lieutenant Daniels and Sergeant Schipporeit, who will be presenting today, our accreditation managers, for the outstanding job. And I got to tell you, everyone is calling us now, getting our assistance moving forward. In the 6th edition. Proud to say, 351 cities and towns, we're number one for the first. With me today is several of our officers. We have Lieutenant Daniels, Mike Daniels is here. Sergeant Greg Schipporeit is going to present to you. We have Officer Thomas Pepper. And we have two new officers that are in our FTO field training program. I'm going to introduce them, have them say a few words. You may recognize Officer Carly McKenna. She was our clinician. Then she got the policing bug, and I hired her. She's going to be a fantastic addition to our team. Brings a whole new set of tools in her toolbox as a licensed clinician to better serve and help you folks. And we have Brendan Schweitzer. Brendan Schweitzer, he graduated from Quinsigamond Community College Academy, which is a very unique academy. It's in the evenings, and it goes, I think it's every third Saturday. It's very long. So people that have to work, that have families and different things, are able to go to a police academy. And very unique. It's the only academy of its kind in the Commonwealth. So without further ado, I just want to have Officer McKenna and Officer Schweitzer just say a few words to introduce themselves to you.
Hi guys, thanks for having us, and let us introduce ourselves. Like you said, I was a clinician before, so very excited to be here. See you guys again. Graduated the Linfield Academy end of April, and recently started the field training program. So I'll see you guys around.
Say thank you as well for having me. I'm Officer Schweitzer. Looking forward to working with the community of Westborough. Like Chief said, I came out of the Quincy Academy. It was supposed to be every third Saturday, turned into every Saturday, and it was nice. It was a great opportunity, and I look forward to working with you guys as well.
And just to add with these two officers, she was their squad leader, her squad leader at the Linfield Academy, and also Schweitzer received the leadership award that's given, voted on by his instructors and his classmates. So this is your future right here of the Westborough Police Department, and I'm very proud of you. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you an absolute rock star, Sergeant Greg Schipporeit.
Thanks, Chief. Thank you, everyone. It's kind of funny the Chief said rock star, because I was actually talking to my daughter this week, and earlier this week she's 6, and she was telling me how she is going to the senior center in our town to sing for the folks there. And I was telling her what I was going to do here, and she said, "Well, Daddy, maybe you should sing instead of talk about that stuff." And that sounds kind of boring. I was like, "I don't know, honey. I don't think they want to hear me sing."
Not for breakfast.
That's right. Yeah. So I said, "Well, maybe you could come and sing for them." And she said, "Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that." So maybe
anytime she wants to come.
yeah. She's big into performing and singing at 6 years old. So she's a lot better on the microphone than I am. So. She helps me out a lot. So just, I know I've kind of been here a few times, but just a few things about me real quick. I came here from Colorado. I was a police officer in Denver for 15 years. So the majority of my career, I was in Denver working in a big city. So when I came here, I've been here now for about 5 years. Chief Lourie, I was lucky enough he hired me, and it was kind of back during the time when it was a lot harder to find police jobs. So it was a great opportunity to come here. It's been a great experience, a great department to work for. And let's see, luckily 2 years ago I was able to, Chief Lourie and the command staff also promoted me to sergeant after a assessment center process where they put us through different scenarios in front of chiefs and other law enforcement professionals, and kind of help determine who the best candidates are for the position. So along with that and a written test, I did well enough on that I was able to get promoted to the position of sergeant. So as with any new promotion, it's you never know what you're going to get. Like you kind of feel like I think I'm ready for that job, but I wasn't always 100% sure. But now that I've been in it and doing it for 2 years, I couldn't be happier. It really is a great job being a police sergeant. So to kind of give you an idea of what my day-to-day is like, I still respond to calls, I still get calls on the radio, and I still go to different calls for serious traffic accidents, any type of crime occurring. And my main role in that is to help these guys out and provide support and provide whatever they need. That's kind of the basic thing, and it's in a lot of departments. That's all that the sergeant does. He or she just goes and makes sure everything gets done correctly. Watches the officers, make sure that no one gets hurt, that kind of thing. That's a very important role for the sergeant. But the great thing about Westborough and the way that Chief Lourie and the deputy chief and all the command staff have set it up is we really work on the philosophy of developing from within. And what that means is it kind of starts with the chief, down to the deputy chief, to the lieutenants, to the sergeants, and down to the patrol officers. So we're constantly working to always build each other up and improve our skills so that we're ready for the next step in our career. And a lot of departments fall short on that, unfortunately. So with the system that's in place, we're able to really pass on some of that knowledge that you gain from the years of experience. We all have had different experiences growing up, different experiences of work, and it's important for us to all share those and make sure that we're doing the best we can, because the collective knowledge of us is greater than the knowledge of just one. So we have a great program to really build leaders from within, and it starts at the patrol level. As these officers are in field training right now, they're sergeants or they're field training officers. And what the field training officers do is they take what these guys have learned in the academy and they build upon that. They kind of get into the more practical skills where you're driving, you're on an everyday basis, you're responding to calls, you're figuring out how to deal with calls. They help them improve their report writing. They work with them to make decisions and figure out how to handle certain situations and help people out to make things better. So that's kind of the first phase of the leadership ladder, I'd like to call it, is becoming a field training officer. Next would be the sergeant, the level where I'm at. And at that point, that role kind of expands. And as I was saying before, I still have all the normal duties on the street, responding calls, those kind of things. Occasionally, I'll dust my cuffs off and pull them out and hope that they're not too rusty, and the guys will laugh at me and make sure they still work. But what I can do now is I'm given the opportunity to work on other projects, like the accreditation project that the chief spoke about, and that basically it gives me the opportunity to learn how to be in a lieutenant position or move up into the organization. So it prepares me for my future, and that's a great opportunity that we have in Westborough. So that's the great thing. The other things that I do on a day-to-day basis is a lot of training, and it's not so much formal training with PowerPoints and those kind of things, although we do some of that in the roll call setting, but it's also training, just talking to people, counseling people, seeing where people want to go. One of the things I really like to do is every month or every couple months sit down with the people on my team and talk to them and say, hey, what do you, excuse me, what would you like to do in your career? Do you want to be a detective? Do you want to be a sergeant? Do you want to move? Whatever they want to do in their goals, and that gives me an opportunity to kind of see where they're going, find training classes for them, pass on my advice, or get them to talk to the right person that can help them get where they want to go. So it really is, being a sergeant has been a great opportunity for me. The other things I get to be involved with are the community engagement things. This Saturday over at the YMCA, we're doing a fundraiser with the Y. It's called the Mission in Motion, and it's kind of something close to my heart because my mother-in-law, she suffers from multiple myeloma cancer, and after she was done one of her treatment phases, she found out about this free program at the Y that's called Mission in Motion, and And what they do is they provide basically workouts, nutrition advice, activities, and different things for folks that are either in remission or have just come off of treatment for different cancers, and that's all free for them. And my mother-in-law said it was one of the best things she had ever done, and it's a great thing that they got going over there. So again, that's one of the things we get to do with community engagement. We have the upcoming, I forget the name of it, not Night Out, but what do we do every June?
The Buffalo Art
No. The big event at Bay State.
Arts on the Commons, is it?
Yeah. Well, we all get together on the common. I can't think of it right now.
Oh, yes.
Block party, yeah, sorry. Jeez, I'm sorry, guys. So the block party, and then a lot of other stuff. Also coming up, I supervise the honor guard, so you'll see us on Memorial Day. We'll be marching if you're out. It should be a good time. With that, I want to let this young lady get her
I'm just
information
gonna,
out.
I'm just gonna have a few things.
Yeah, sure.
You got it?
Yeah, unless there's any questions anyone has.
You have any questions? So, just to give you a little sample, and he's absolutely right, it's all about teamwork, right? It's all about mentorship, it's all about having employees reach their full potential. And to show you the caliber of officers that we have, I mean, we've rescinded 9 conditional offers. I want to make sure you folks have the very best in officers possible. How many officers in Lakewood, Colorado?
There was about 500.
500 officers. You're looking at Officer of the Year, 1 year when he was there, out of 500 officers. So, and that's what I consider when I say rock stars. Every one of the officers that you see out in the road, we really did our due diligence to make sure that you have the very best and brightest. And I know as a chief, I am so proud to watch them develop, with the assistance of Lieutenant Daniels, Deputy Chief Minardi, Lieutenant Tompkins, Lieutenant Luce, and all the other sergeants who have a myriad of responsibilities, both administratively and patrol-wise, to get them to the next level if that's what they want. So very proud of my staff. In June, just so you know, I will be presenting. So I'm going to talk about some of the different initiatives that we're doing with the police department and things that are going on. So I look forward to seeing you next month. And without further ado, scams.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Good morning, everybody at the Westborough Senior Center. My name is Avery. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be able to present on this topic that is really close to my heart. I want to thank Ms. DeManch for helping me set this all up, and thank you to my friend over here. I forgot your name, but thank you for helping me set all the technical stuff up. It's really great, and thank you, Westborough, for this. So a little background about me. My name is Avery, and I am a senior graduating in 2 weeks from Mary Annapolis Preparatory School in Thompson, Connecticut. So I'm 18 years old as of today, and I am very excited to be talking about the topic of internet safety and scams in a context when media has been growing so much in the modern day. It is an incredibly interesting topic about how people can how people can conduct scams on the internet. And today I'd like to go over some of the ways that it does happen so we can figure out what are the best ways to prevent ourselves from experiencing internet scams. So on the agenda today, I would like to talk about internet phishing, social media, website, email, phone, and then we will have some time for questions. So we're going to talk about all the different methods of how a scam occurs and how fraudulent people on the internet attempt to reach you to attempt to gain your information and gain access to your sensitive information. So that's just a little preview of what we're going to be talking about. So to begin with some statistics to really develop the breadth of the problem, the gravity of how serious this issue is. In the last year, the rise of internet scams has grown exponentially. It has been an incredibly increasing problem. Every day we hear about crimes that happen, right? We hear about bank robbers, we hear about people who, robbers in stores, we hear about, civil crime, acts on other people. This is a new type of crime that has emerged in the last couple decades with the growth of the internet. Now, I've only been alive for at 18 years, as I said. So I've been able to grow up with the internet. While other people, unfortunately, have not been able to grow up with the internet, which is a good thing in its own respect. And it's a negative thing because there's a lot of education about the internet that kids my age have grown up with. So to give you a preview, consumers reported losing over $8.8 billion to fraud in 2022. And there has been over 2.4 million people scammed out of their money and reported scams to the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission, which is a government office which helps with these type of issues. A lot of frauds can occur, such as imposter scams, online shopping, prizes, investment opportunities. So there are a ton of guises that internet scammers will attempt to reach people out to on the internet and attempt to gain funds and gain sensitive information they can gain access. So that's just a little preview. So as I said, phishing can occur in a number of ways. We're going to go over what phishing is. I'm sure you think of going to the pond and casting a reel for an actual fish when I say phishing. But there's actually a completely different definition which corresponds with the idea of a scam. So I just want to get a little bit of our demographics to see what kind of internet we use. So raise your hand if you can say you've used Google before. If you've Googled a question. Went on the internet, used Google. Yes, okay. Let's say, who has an email address? Who emails people? Okay. Who has a phone? Who likes to call people on the phone, call family, call friends? iPhone, yeah. And who has a social media account? By this, I mean Facebook or Instagram, Twitter. So there's a lot of different ways. So people on the internet attempt to reach us through these 4 different ways, and there are billions of users all over the world, from countries from America all the way to China. Like, people all over the world use the internet. It is fastest growing thing since the 1990s. And through this, the crime has risen where people have attempted to gain access to each other's information so that they can gain access to bank accounts. This new type of crime gets spread in a number of ways, such as sometimes you may get an email that says you won a $1,000 Facebook gift, you won a $1,000 Amazon gift card, or your Netflix account has been hacked, you don't have your password anymore. Or sometimes something really interesting is like scams on social media when it's asking you a question and it's asking you, give us the name of your street that you grew up on, asking you answers to common security questions that you may use to get into your bank account. There's so many ways I'd like to show right here that scams can happen. All right, so what is phishing? So as I've said the word phishing, I've said, you think putting a worm on a reel and, trying to catch a bass. Well, the word phishing here is used with the words PH, which is a scam by which an email or social media user is tricked into revealing personal or confidential information that a scammer can use fraudulently. When I talk about a scammer, I talk about a person who is attempting to gain access to your own personal information so that they can get access to your bank account where everything you have, all of your money is stored, or they want to get access to your name and your social security number so that they can use access to gain medical care under your name. There's so many different ways that phishing occurs, but phishing is the act of acting under a different guise in order to gain access to sensitive information that you don't necessarily want shared. So first, I'd like to go over email phishing. Email scams are a form of phishing. These scams are attempts to steal personal information. Email scams occur through a variety of ways. Sometimes when we get an email, it can be asking for information such as, your Amazon account has been hacked. Does anybody here use Amazon? Yeah? Does anybody here use Netflix? Or does anybody use any accounts like PayPal? There's many different accounts that we open up every day on the internet, or every so often on the internet. Now, our passwords to these accounts are very confidential and should not be shared with anybody. When we have an internet account, we want to have a password to it so that it can stay locked. Like, when you go to the bank, you have to give them information so that you can get your money out and make sure that it's not somebody pretending to be you. Here, people may email you and say fake things such as, you want a gift card. If you give us your email address and your email password, we will deliver this gift card right to you. This sounds too good to be true, right? Some of these are ridiculous ideas that people will say and get you to believe. And while some of us say that we might not believe this, it's very easy to get deceived and very easy to get seen by the idea of too good to be true. So offers for free gifts, saying that you have a computer virus, your account has been locked, package tracking updates. There's so many ways that people will say fake and fraudulent things to you in order to attempt to ask for your password. So in these ways, people are asking for your password, they're asking for your address. Giving out this information gives a scammer tactics to use with. By not giving out this information, you can protect yourself. When we get an email that we may not believe is legitimate, asking for our password, asking for our address, we want to make sure this correspondence is legitimate. So there are 4 questions we can ask ourselves when we're going over when we get an email that we're not sure is real. Who is the sender? If it's coming from a person that we don't know, we can delete the email. If you don't know this person or you have never heard of this business before, there's never any harm in deleting the email. If there is serious harm that's happening to you, they will resend you information, but there's no harm in deleting the email so you don't get involved in this correspondence. And then what is the request? If this person by email is asking you to send your credit card information, this person is asking you to send your password, this person is asking you to send photos of something specific, asking for your social security number in exchange for something, chances are these people are attempting to get your information so that they can get into your accounts. They want to get into your bank accounts. They want to gain access to everything that is really sensitive to you. So if somebody is requesting personal information, you never want to send anything. Sometimes they will say, to this email there is attached a photo, just open the photo and then you will receive a gift card. This is actually a way for scammers to be able to put a virus onto your computer. A virus is something that goes onto your computer and can look for your information and take it. If we see an email that looks sketchy, as we say, or you can say an email that looks not legitimate, an email that you don't trust all the way, just delete it. There's no harm done. If there's a serious issue, they will always email back. So now I want to go over a couple examples of things that I have received to see if we can identify what looks like a scam email and what looks like something that may not be a scam email. So this is an email I received from something that looks like Amazon, right? Does everybody know what Amazon is? Yeah? So in this email, if you can read it, they're saying, we've placed a temporary hold in your account due to a billing issue. To unlock your account, click this button and put your identity information in to prove that it's you. Does this look like a legitimate email? Raise your hand if you believe that this is a legitimate email from Amazon telling me that my information is being hacked. Now, nod your head or raise your hand if this looks like a fraudulent email. If you said that this is a fraudulent email, you would be correct. This is not an official email of Amazon. If you notice, I'm not sure if you can see because the text is quite small, but at the top here it says AMAZN. First thing, Amazon is spelled wrong. That's one of the first dead giveaways that this is a fake email. First, another thing is they're saying hello at my email. This is not a very professional greeting that you would get from a company that's trying to make itself look professional. A lot of this is spelled wrong as well. There's a lot of grammar issues. When you get an email, there's a lot of words spelled wrong, there's periods in the wrong place, there's unnatural language. It's very obvious that this is a fraudulent email. And the email just might not be using the same colors as Amazon. There's a lot of things you can say. If you ever receive an email and you are not sure if it's legitimate or not, you can always just call a family member, call a friend, say, I received this email. Call your grandkids, call your daughter, call somebody at the senior center. Say, hello, I received this email and they're asking for my password. I don't know if it's real or not. You can always reach out to somebody you trust if you're not sure. Never give your information out unless you know that it's something legitimate. So now we'll go over one more. Does this email look like a scam? So this is from Staples and they're advertising a deal of their chairs that are only $70. They're not really asking for any information, they're just asking me to come and purchase something. Staples is spelled correctly, and the words are spelled right. Does this look like a real email from a company? you would be correct. This is not a scam email. Since the grammar, like I said, the grammar is accurate, the email is accurate, this is not too good to be true, and they're not requesting any personal information. They're just telling me that we're selling insurance for only $70 right now. So when an email is not asking for personal information, it is pretty fair that you can trust the email. Now I'd like to go over social media. So social media, if I asked earlier, but if you have a Facebook account or you have an Instagram account, but most of you, I'm sure, know what Facebook is, have access to, have friends who have Facebook accounts. Facebook is a way that people can get access to you. Sometimes fraudulent people may send messages, and often these may be a lot of people that are not from the United States and English is not their first language. And they want to prey on Americans with the ability to speak English who have access to citizenships in America. That's why these people might contact you. You might say, who would ever do that to somebody? Who would ever want to gain your information? These might be people who are not able to gain citizenship or do not have a lot of money and think that the best way to improve their lives is by attacking you. But by being smart, we can understand how to not give out information and fall into these traps. So social media postings, sometimes we get messages that say, hey, I just received this video. It looks a lot like you. Can you click this link? Or, hey, look at this post. Give us your mother's name. Give us your mother's maiden name. Give us the childhood streak you gave up on. Give us your childhood dog's name. This looks like something fun, but this can actually be used against you because it can be used in order to gain information, to gain access to your passwords. So when we receive a post or we receive a message on social media and it's asking for information, we want to look at a couple things. How old is the profile? How long has this person been on social media, which you can tell? How accurate is the grammar? That's a big one. If the grammar is not accurate, you can assume that this post is not might not be completely accurate, and that might be a first warning. Is it too good to be true? This is an offer. This is an idea that I really want to go over. Too good to be true is the idea that you are receiving something for giving not a lot. So sometimes on social media, or might get emails, or we might see on the internet, you can get this necklace for free if you give us your password, or you can have a membership to Netflix through us for only Netflix video streaming service. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's a way for people to see movies. No, you can gain access to Netflix for free if you give us your password. So people will offer you deals that you would otherwise have to pay a lot of money for. Or say, hey, on Facebook, people might be trying to sell things online. Has anybody ever bought anything online? Usually if you want to buy a couch online, it would probably cost a lot of money, right? Sometimes it would be a pretty substantial price. Some people might say, oh, I am selling this free couch online, and you can come over and buy it. I'll give it to you for free. I just want you to give me access. I just want you to give me your email and give me the password to that email, and you can have this couch for free. This isn't really something that would happen in the real world, and people might act very quickly because this deal is too good to be true. This is something that might not happen to anybody else. Who else would get a couch for free just because they're giving their email? Usually, these people are attempting to get your email so that they can send you fraudulent communication. And is there any urgency? If you are on social media, get a message, and it's saying, act now, you have to act right now. They're trying to get you to think quickly without thinking of the legitimacy of the situation. They want you to understand, oh, well, if I don't act right now, if I don't put my money down right now, if I don't send this person $300, I'm not going to get my free couch. Like, that doesn't make sense. If you don't act right now, if you don't act urgently, you aren't going to get access to something that is incredibly a really good deal. But we want to make sure that somebody's asking us to act very quickly. We want to step back and look at the issue. Is this something that would happen? Would I really get a free couch for giving my email? You want to make sure that if they're telling you to act very quickly, you want to make sure that it's something that could actually happen. And if you are unsure, like I said, always just call somebody you know, call somebody that you trust, and ask if this is legitimate. So now I want to show you an example of a Facebook post or a social media post that could be seen as a scam. So in this Facebook post, it says, "What car did he learn to drive stick shift on?" This post wants you to give information as a fun game. It wants you to be able to connect with your friends, see if you guys have anything in common. It's looking for you to pick the car that you learned to drive stick shift on. This seems like a lot of fun. It seems like something we can all look at, like, ooh, how old was the car that you learned to drive stick shift on? But in reality, this question is something that is a common security question. Security question is questions that you give to your bank that only you know, like the name of my child, the dog. These are only questions that you know. When you put these information online, people are able to go into your security questions, put in the information that you have put out there to the public, and then retrieve this information. So you want to make sure that if you ever see a post like this, you know that this is in fact a fraudulent post because it's requesting you to share personal information. When a post or an email or a correspondence is asking you to share personal information, you want to always assume that it is fraudulent. You want to never give out personal information unless you completely know the legitimacy of the situation. This is one of our last issues. Is phone calls. Has anybody ever received a phone call from a person that they don't know who it is? You ever received a phone call that's saying, "Hi, I'm from Bangladesh and I'm the princess. You need to send me $300 right now so I can get out of this sticky situation." That's a common one that a lot of people have received before. Sometimes it might sound silly. The person might not know English very well, or the person might be asking you to give me this information right now because of this seriously dire situation. It's the idea of urgency or the idea of too good to be true. If somebody's saying, "Congrats, you just won a free cruise to the Bahamas for doing absolutely nothing. All you have to do is send us $200 and this cruise is yours. You just have to pay a fee." Likely, you're not getting a cruise to the Bahamas for only $200 unless it's by somebody randomly calling you. What you want to be able to do is look at the ideas of a phone call. When we get a phone call and we're not exactly sure where it's coming from, or there's a request that may be too good to be true, or it might be kind of threatening, you want to look at a couple ideas. So what is the request? Are they requesting personal information? Is this idea that seems too good to be true? Will they answer questions? You always have the right when somebody calls you to ask questions. You can say, "Who is calling me? Who is this calling from?" If the person is claiming to be from your bank and says your account is being hacked, you need to give me your bank password right now so that we can fix it. You need to give us information right now. You can say, "What's the name of the town I live in?" See if they actually know who this is. Say, "Do you know what's the name of you who works at my bank?" Because you know the people who work at your bank. You want to make sure that anything that the person is requesting you to do, you are able to verify by information that you understand. And is there a sense of urgency? Is the person saying, "You have a free cruise to the Bahamas. Act right now. Act very quickly, and it's yours." They want you to act without thinking. They want you to send this money before you can think. I don't know if this is true. If you ever don't know what to do, pick up the phone, call somebody. Say, I just got this phone call and they're requesting that I give them my bank account password because I'm being hacked. Even if they say, "Don't get off the phone, don't get off the phone," you are always able to hang up the call, because if it is really that serious, they will call back. So this is actually a text that I received from an email. So do you guys ever get phone texts? Do you ever text your friends, text your family on your phone? Often I like to text a lot. This was a text that I received, and it was saying, "Dear friends, you will be invited to join a discussion group. This group will post signals that will teach you how to earn $20,000 in a cryptocurrency market. Join the group." Does this look legitimate? Does it look like I'm really going to gain $20,000 if I click on this link? You're correct. The first thing we can look at is the email. I don't recognize vboat5855@dudier.com. I've never heard of that. That's the first thing I can look at. The second thing is the impersonal greeting. It's not saying "Dear Avery." It's not saying hello. It's not saying anything that it knows me. It's just saying "Dear friends." This isn't very personal. This is often just an attempt to contact as many people as possible. 3, too good to be true. It's saying that by clicking this link, I can earn $500 to $20,000. Do you think I would really earn $20,000 by just clicking this link? Probably not. And then it's a random link. So a link is what is a button that you would press to get access to a web page. This link does not look real. It does not look like something that would lead me to a safe place. You are never going to be at fault for not clicking the link. If you are not sure what it is, never click a button that you don't know what it is. This is the last one we'll go over. Website. So scam websites are often described as news sources, companies, online shopping platforms. Does anybody get their news from the internet? A lot of us watch TV online. Some of us might go on Facebook and see our news. Some of us might look up, what's happening in Westborough today. Often, people might attempt to create websites to allow for fake news. Fake news is the idea that people create fake news stories that have happened in order to spin people's opinions for a political reason, or it might be for their own personal benefit. Like, hey, there has been 500 people who have just won a free cruise to the Bahamas by giving us their passwords. If you do this too, you can become one of these 500 people. People might create fake news stories like this that didn't actually happen in order to gain access to your password. This is an act of convincing. So when we find a website, or we are on the internet and we come across a website, we want to make sure that all the authors on this website are legitimate. So what we want to look at is the grammar accurate? If a website wants to look professional, they'll often make sure that all the grammar is accurate, everything that they're writing, the periods are in the right places, the words are spelled right. This is the first thing we can look at. The second thing is the domain look legitimate. We want to make sure that the name of the website doesn't have a bunch of letters right, it's spelled correctly, doesn't have a bunch of letters that are in random places. Now we want to make sure that it's not too good to be true. It's offering you a $500 Walmart gift card. If you are able to give your email to this website, they'll give you a $500 Walmart gift card. This is the idea of too good to be true. That's incredibly important to understand. So this is an example of a website. So this website right here is offering a $500 Walmart gift card if you click on this link and put your information in through a survey. Does this look like a legitimate website that might be able to actually give you a $500 Walmart gift card? Yes, this is a fake website. So this is a fraudulent website because a lot of the spelling is incorrect. It's a too good to be true offer, and they're telling you to act fast. It says, so act fast today. If it's telling you to act fast, they're asking you to act without thinking. This is the idea that they want you to act incredibly quickly, and they want you to put your information in before you have time to think, is this really too good to be true? So you always want to make sure you contact somebody or act slowly before putting in your information. So if you are suspicious of a message, a call, a website, anything that we have gone through today, and you say, I'm not exactly sure if this is accurate, what we can do is we can take a step back from what they're telling you and think about the legitimacy of the situation. If they have called you on the phone and they have said, you need to stay on the phone with us, you need to do this right now, you always have the option to hang up. You never have to stay on the phone, even if somebody is telling you to. You can call somebody that you trust. You can call a daughter, you can call a son, you can call a grandchild, you can call a friend, you can call somebody that you trust and say, I just received this email, or I just received this phone call. I received this message, and it's saying that I have to give them this information or else I'm going to lose money, or my account or something is in jeopardy and I might lose a lot of money. Is this accurate? And the person will be able to help you through and understand if you should give this person your information. And And what you can always do is delete the message. If this is a serious issue, the person will contact you again and will contact you multiple times because this is a serious issue. Or your bank will actually call you from, your bank will, if your bank is claiming to send you emails and you are not sure if it's accurate, you can delete them. Even if it is accurate, they will call you or they will contact you in a number of ways and make sure that if there is something actually wrong. But in reality, most of these contacts that you're going to get are not correct. So if you're not sure, even if you might be a little suspicious, just delete the message. There's no harm in it. How can you be safe online? The internet is one of the fastest growing bases in the world. There's so many countries in the world, there's so many areas in the world where people have access to the internet. The internet is kind of is in our everyday lives. When we are online, we want to remember the idea of too good to be true and limit the amount of personal information we have online. We don't want to post our phone numbers, we don't want to post our emails. If we have a Facebook profile, don't post town that you live in. If you're going away for vacation, don't post when you're going away for vacation because people will understand that your house is open. Don't post information that could possibly be used to hurt you. Never post a picture of your credit card. Never send anybody a picture of your credit card. Anything that can be personal to you, don't share. And don't talk to people you don't know online. If somebody messages you and you're not sure who this person is, and they're offering you an incredibly great offer, if you don't know this person, you never have to talk to somebody no matter what they tell you if you don't know them. All right, thank you all so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be able to talk about you. I hope you learned something. Thank you all so much.